Welcome back everyone, and we're going to do a quick little comparison between the iPhone SE and the iPhone 6s. Now I will be pre-ordering the iPhone SE and picking it up, and I'll be buying two of them actually, so I can keep one and give one away to you guys. So keep a lock down on the channel so you guys don't miss that giveaway. But this is the second channel, so it's totally okay. You guys can pay attention to this one or the main channel, doesn't matter. Now obviously if you have all the money in the world, the iPhone SE 2020 edition is the best one to pick up. It's starting off at $399, where you can pick up an iPhone 6s for substantially cheaper. That one is costing about $110 on Amazon, but even then I would still recommend picking up the iPhone SE, or at the very least an iPhone 8. Those phones will do you much better, but the iPhone SE will obviously do a lot better than those ones. Now looking on the front, they both have 4.7 inch panels, which is really cool. And they're both kind of the same resolution, 720p, 750 by 1334, which is really awesome. Funny enough, the iPhone 6s actually has Force Touch or 3D Touch, where the iPhone SE 2020 does not have it. It has haptic feedback, which is almost the same exact thing. A really cool thing though is that the iPhone SE 2020 does have True Tone on that display, so you can actually go and utilize that, which is really awesome. And that's actually one of my favorite things about the iPhone SE. And even the iPhone 8, True Tone does actually add quite a bit of value into those phones, so I would 100% recommend it. That's one of the coolest things to enable onto an iPhone. The iPhone 6s does not have any water certification, no IP certification or anything. The iPhone SE does have IP67 dust and water resistance, so a pretty important thing to note right there. But in terms of the front, they're both almost the same. Touch ID 2 on the front. The front speaker on the SE is a little bit bigger than the 6s. It has a front-facing speaker kind of. But other than that, they're both almost the same exact thing. Lightning port on the bottom of both phones. The 6s does have the headphone jack, which is pretty cool. On the back, single camera setups on both, 12 megapixel sensors as well. But the really cool thing is that the iPhone SE 2020 does have the ability to not only shoot 4K at 30 frames per second, but it also has portrait mode on that camera as well, which is a really awesome thing. That's something that not a lot of phones have the capability of doing, especially on the older format of the iPhones. The only phones that can shoot full portrait mode that have the home button are the iPhone 7 Plus and the iPhone 8 Plus. And the iPhone SE is supported there, which is really cool. On the front though, 5 megapixel on the iPhone 6s and 7 megapixel on the iPhone SE2, 1080p on 30 frames per second on both of them too, which is perfectly fine for a lot of people. So in terms of the camera, that pretty much covers it. In terms of the software support, the iPhone 6s started off with iOS 9, the iPhone SE2 started off with iOS 13, and for sure at the end of the day, the iPhone SE2 is going to outlast the iPhone 6s by quite a bit. It's going to pretty much, the iPhone 6s is almost at its last software support, either with the 13 update or 14 update, we really don't know. But the iPhone SE2 is starting off with iOS 13, so that's a pretty big deal in my opinion. And that mostly has to do with the chipsets inside. So the iPhone 6s started off with the Apple A9 chip, the iPhone SE2 has the Apple A13 Bionic chip, hex-core CPU on the SE2, dual-core CPU on the 6s. In terms of the RAM, the iPhone SE2 is confirmed to have 3 gigs of RAM, where the iPhone 6s only had 2, so you're definitely not only getting a better performing device on the iPhone SE2, but you're also getting a longer lasting device. The iPhone SE2 will last longer than the iPhone 6s, which is a very important thing to note. So in terms of performance, the iPhone SE2 will definitely win in terms of that. Now in terms of the battery life, the iPhone 6s has a 1715 mAh battery, the iPhone SE2 has a 1821 mAh battery. And between both, they seem to be looking like they might have the same battery life, but the iPhone SE2 will definitely last you longer, because not only because of that bigger size battery by a little bit, but it also has a better chipset inside of it too, which is really awesome. The iPhone SE2 also has true wireless charging, which is very important to note. So at the end of the day, the iPhone SE2 will definitely be the better battery device. And to kind of sum up the video, man, for sure, if you have an iPhone 6s, I would recommend looking at the iPhone SE2. It seems to be like a very compelling device. It might not be perfect, but it's still going to be good enough for a ton of people out there. So if you want to pick one up, I would highly recommend pre-ordering it tomorrow. So that's pretty much it. If you guys have any other questions or anything, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys could hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel. All those links are linked down below. I'd really appreciate if you guys could check it out. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.